Okay, over the last few weeks, I had the pleasure of getting to know my international partner, Jenny. Jenny was born in Vietnam, and she moved to the U.S. around 20 years ago. She's 48 years old. Today, I'll discuss some aspects of her worldviews, aspects of our verbal communication, and aspects of our nonverbal communication. Jenny's view on human nature is that humans are a mixture of good and bad, and her orientation towards time focuses on the future. This is something I found very common in a lot of college students. We also discussed politics, and a quote from her is that the politics of Vietnam I didn't like, the Communist Party. That's why we ran over here. And here's a visual aid of the Communist flag of Vietnam. Now that I discussed aspects of her worldviews, I'll discuss aspects of our nonverbal communication, verbal communication. Jenny is bilingual, and English is her second language. Even though she's been here for a while, we still ran into a lot of barriers because of the language gap. We also used a lot of direct communication, and the reason was we weren't. I think the reason we use very direct communication is the lack of understanding of maybe the subtleties that we have in English. A semantical example of that is when I asked her about her worldviews, she asked me to explain what worldviews were to her. So now that I discussed aspects of our verbal communication, I will describe to you aspects of our nonverbal communication. She was very comfortable using a lot of eye contact, and we both used a lot of illustrators to describe what we were talking about. I think we used so many illustrators because of the language barrier to try to emphasize what we were trying to communicate towards one another. So today I told you about my experiences with my IPP, Jenny. We discussed her worldviews, we discussed aspects of our verbal and nonverbal communications. It's important to understand that various worldviews will have an effect on how we communicate with one another. And I think we really have to be aware that it affects how people perceive us, and really I think we want to mold ourselves and be ready to evolve to other people's communication needs. I think communicating with Jenny was pretty easy for the most part because she's been here for so long. I would say that it was like communicating with just about any other American. Thank you.